I stared at the massive block of marble. It was a daunting sight, a monolith of potential and challenge. The cold surface seemed to mock my hesitation, daring me to transform it into something extraordinary. It loomed before me, cold and imposing. The sheer size of it was overwhelming, and I could feel the weight of the task ahead pressing down on my shoulders. The image of the griffin, a mythical beast of legend, was etched into my mind. Its majestic form, with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle, represented power and grace. I could see it clearly, every detail vivid in my imagination. I was tasked with bringing it to life. This was my chance, the opportunity to create something that would be remembered for generations. The thought both thrilled and terrified me. I could prove myself as a sculptor. This was more than just a commission. It was a test of my skills, my creativity, and my resolve. I had to succeed, not just for myself, but for the legacy I wanted to leave behind. Yet fear gnawed at me, the fear of failure, of not living up to the expectations placed upon me. What if I couldn't capture the essence of the griffin? What if my vision fell short? Could I truly carve this magnificent creature from the stone? The question echoed in my mind, a constant reminder of the stakes. I had to push through the doubt, to find the courage within myself.
The pressure was immense. Every stroke of the chisel, every decision I made carried the weight of expectation. The eyes of the world, or at least the Duke's court, would be on this piece. This commission was for the Duke himself, a man of great influence and discerning taste. He had chosen me for this task, placing his trust in my abilities. I couldn't let him down. It was to be the centerpiece of the palace gardens, a place of beauty and tranquility, where the griffin would stand as a symbol of strength and wisdom. It had to be perfect, a masterpiece that would inspire awe. The griffin, a symbol of strength and wisdom, had to be perfect. Every detail, from the curve of its wings to the fierce expression in its eyes, had to be meticulously crafted. There was no room for error. The weight of expectation pressed down on Elias. He knew that this was more than just a sculpture. It was a testament to his skill and dedication. The pressure was almost unbearable, but he couldn't let it break him. He felt a tremor in his hand as he picked up his chisel. The tool felt heavy, almost as if it carried the weight of his doubts. But he took a deep breath, steadied himself, and began to carve. Each strike of the chisel was a step towards his vision, a journey to bring the griffin to life. Days turned into weeks. Elias toiled away, chipping at the marble. He made progress, but it felt slow and arduous.
The griffin's gaze, even in its unfinished state, seemed to mock me. It whispered of my insecurities, amplifying my fear of failure.
He was losing himself in the fear. Elias felt his frustration mounting. Each swing of the hammer felt heavy, hesitant. The joy he usually found in sculpting was gone, replaced by a gnawing anxiety. He knew he couldn't go on like this. He needed help. Desperate, Elias sought out Maestro Lorenzo. The old sculptor was a legend, renowned for his serene demeanor and breathtaking masterpieces. Elias poured out his heart, confessing his fear and doubt. Lorenzo listened patiently, his gaze full of understanding.
Ah, Elias, you are lost in the storm of your thoughts. You must find stillness within. You must practice mindfulness.
Lorenzo's words were like a lifeline to Elias. He clung to them, desperate for guidance. Maestro Lorenzo became Elias's guide. He taught him the art of mindfulness. Each morning, Elias sat in silence, focusing on his breath. He learned to observe his thoughts and emotions without judgment. He saw how fear manifested in his body, how it tightened his muscles and clouded his mind.
Slowly, a sense of calm washed over me. I brought this newfound awareness to my work. I felt the weight of the hammer, the coolness of the stone. I noticed the subtle changes in the marble with each strike. I was present, fully immersed in the moment. As I practiced mindfulness, a remarkable shift occurred. The fear didn't vanish entirely, but it no longer held me captive. I found a rhythm to my work, a flow that I hadn't felt before. My movements became fluid, confident.
The griffin began to take shape under Elias's skilled hands. Its powerful wings unfurled from the stone, feathers etched with exquisite detail. The sharp talons, the fierce beak, the noble head, each element emerged with a newfound clarity and precision. Section 6. The Dance of Creation. This chapter delves into the profound connection between the artist and their medium, exploring how the act of creation transforms both the creator and the created.
Sculpting was no longer a battle, but a dance. Elias, the sculptor, found himself moving in sync with the stone, as if they were partners in a delicate ballet. Each movement was deliberate, each touch a whisper of intent.
Elias moved with the stone, respecting its strength while gently coaxing it to reveal its inner beauty. He understood that the stone had its own story to tell, and his role was to listen and guide, not to dominate.
He found joy in the process, in the simple act of creation. The rhythm of his hands, the texture of the stone, the emerging form, all of it brought a profound sense of fulfillment. It was a meditative practice, a way to connect with something greater than himself.
He wasn't striving for perfection, but embracing the journey. Each stroke, each chisel mark was a step along a path of discovery. The destination was not a flawless sculpture, but a deeper understanding of his own creative spirit.
Each day brought him closer to the griffin and closer to himself. The mythical creature he was bringing to life was a reflection of his own inner journey, a symbol of his aspirations and dreams. With each passing day, the griffin took shape, and so did Elias's understanding of his own potential.
He was discovering the power of mindfulness, not just in his art, but in his life. The act of sculpting became a form of meditation, a way to center himself and find peace amidst the chaos of the world. It taught him patience, focus, and the importance of being present in the moment.
He was calmer, more focused, more present. The lessons he learned in the studio extended beyond the walls of his workshop, influencing how he approached every aspect of his life. He found that the principles of art, balance, harmony, and attention to detail, were equally applicable to his relationships, his work, and his personal growth.
He was, in a way, sculpting his own being. Each piece of art he created was a reflection of his inner self, a testament to his journey of self-discovery. Through the dance of creation, Elias was not just shaping stone, but also shaping his own identity, one chisel stroke at a time. Section 7. Unveiling the Griffin. This moment had been anticipated for months, with whispers and rumors spreading through the kingdom about the grand reveal. The griffin, a symbol of power and majesty, was to be unveiled in a ceremony that promised to be nothing short of spectacular.
The day of the unveiling arrived. The sun shone brightly, casting a golden hue over the palace grounds. People from all walks of life gathered, their faces alight with excitement and curiosity. The air was filled with the sound of chatter and the occasional burst of laughter as everyone speculated about the griffin's appearance.
The palace gardens were filled with anticipation. The Duke himself was in attendance, his eyes filled with curiosity. He had heard tales of the griffin's magnificence, but had never seen it with his own eyes. The gardens, usually a place of tranquility, were now buzzing with energy and expectation.
As the silk cloth was drawn back, a collective gasp rippled through the crowd. The griffin, hidden from view for so long, was finally revealed. The intricate details of its feathers, the powerful stance, and the lifelike expression left everyone in awe. It was more than just a sculpture, it was a masterpiece.
The griffin stood bathed in sunlight, magnificent and awe-inspiring. The way the light played off its golden feathers made it seem almost alive. It was as if the griffin could take flight at any moment, soaring into the sky with grace and power. The craftsmanship was unparalleled, a true testament to the artist's skill.
Its eyes, carved with such lifelike intensity, seemed to gleam with wisdom. They followed you no matter where you stood, giving the impression that the griffin was watching over the kingdom. The eyes were the soul of the sculpture, capturing the essence of the mythical creature in a way that words could not describe.
The powerful wings seemed to quiver, ready to take flight. Each feather was meticulously crafted, giving the wings a sense of movement and life. It was as if the griffin was poised on the edge of action, waiting for the perfect moment to spread its wings and soar. The attention to detail was astonishing, making the sculpture a true marvel.
The Duke was speechless for a moment. Then a slow smile spread across his face. He had seen many works of art in his time, but nothing quite like this. The griffin was a symbol of the kingdom's strength and resilience, and seeing it in all its glory filled him with pride. He knew that this unveiling would be remembered for generations to come.
Magnificent, he finally breathed, his voice filled with wonder. The crowd echoed his sentiment, their applause ringing through the gardens. The Griffin had exceeded all expectations, standing as a testament to the kingdom's artistic prowess and the enduring power of myth. It was a day that would be etched in their memories forever.
Section 8. Echoes of the Heart.
Elias watched as the crowd marveled at his creation.
He felt a sense of accomplishment, yes, but it was different this time.
It wasn't fueled by ego or the need for validation.
It was a quiet joy, a deep satisfaction that resonated from within.
He caught Maestro Lorenzo's eye across the crowd.
The old sculptor smiled, a knowing glint in his eyes.
In that shared glance, Elias understood.
He had found more than just his masterpiece in the stone.
He had found himself.
Section 9. The Sculptor's Journey.
The Griffin became a symbol, not just of strength and wisdom, but of mindfulness.
It served as a constant reminder to Elias and to all who gazed upon it of the power of presence.
Life, like sculpting, was a journey of patience, of finding stillness amidst the chaos.
It was about embracing the process, not just striving for the final product.
It was about finding the joy in each breath, each strike of the chisel, each moment of existence.
It was, in essence, about finding the masterpiece within.